Are you scared about running out of money in your lifetime? In the joint lifetime between you and your spouse? Maybe are you worried about your kids and what they would inherit? What particularly are the bounds of that? If I don't have an urgent prospect, I am at their mercy of when this deal closes. I'm not in control. One of the big things I think a lot of folks seem to struggle with in the sales world is creating urgency in the sale. And, there's buyers in need that really need this product, or there's buyers in power, people that are qualified but don't need to do anything immediately to solve a problem. With those people, we need to create urgency in the sale. And that can be a tricky thing for a lot of folks. And creating urgency actually comes back in your fact-finding, in the time when you are creating pain in the sales process, or at least finding pain, hopefully, in the sales process. So before we get started, what is urgency? Urgency, almost as a definition, is a desperation to solve a problem of some kind. And so how do you create that in your sales cycle? Without urgency, we do not have the ability to create a buyer cycle that is beneficial to the salesman. What do I mean by that? Well, if I don't have an urgent prospect, I am at their mercy of when this deal closes. I'm not in control of the sales cycle. So the first E of the pain process is establishing the pain. It seems almost intuitive, right? Like, obviously, if we're doing some fact finding, we're trying to find what the pain is in the prospect's life. But I really feel like the best salespeople out there are doing it through asking a ton of questions. This is about asking questions and not speaking. We talk a lot about this in a ton of our different episodes, and if you'd like to, go back and check those out. But generally, what they talk about first is the thing they're most interested in or concerned about. So the trick to establishing pain really comes in not only just finding the pain through great questions, but also finding the limits of that pain. You might have a client that comes to you, especially in the retirement planning space. A lot of times we'll get stuff like, I'm concerned about running out of money. Okay, well, that's a legitimate concern. But what particularly are the bounds of that? Are you scared about running out of money in your lifetime, in the joint lifetime between you and your spouse? Are you concerned about running out of money between the joint lifetime of you and your spouse and maybe your next of kin? Maybe are you worried about your kids and what they would inherit? Once you've established the pain and the framing around the pain and what it extends to, you can now really focus and hone in on what's important and establish that if I go beyond this perimeter, we're talking about things that the prospect just doesn't really care too much about. So the second E in the pain process is echoing their pain, right? And so helping them live through their pain. I feel like, once that people have established the pain and maybe even they found the perimeters of what their pain is, the first E of the pain process, they kind of jump to solve that problem for them at the surface level. Oh, I'm concerned about running out of money. Oh, well, I've got the perfect product that prevents you from ever running out of money, right? And that does a small bit of good, I think, of creating urgency or creating some sort of resolve to their pain. But it doesn't do as good a job of securing up those people that feel like they're in the power or in the driver's seat of when they make a decision. A better process is to help echo their pain point, right? Help them live through the pain a little bit more through deeper questions, echoing their emotions in their response. So, oh man, we're so scared of running out of money in retirement. Scared? Yeah, well, we're a little bit nervous. Like, if we run out of money, we would have to go back to work. What would that look like? Well, we'd have to go back to work. My mother-in-law did this. Oh, and how'd that work out for her? Well, it just, it was really painful to watch her at this age. It's a good practice for the salesperson to help their prospect really see clearly the potential problems if their pain continues. So once we've established what their pain is through echoing tactics, we now want to help them explore. We want to kind of explore with them what solutions are potentially going to help them solve for that problem. And it's really, really important in this step of kind of that pain finding process to help but not solve. And what I mean by that is you want to help them kind of figure out what you're saying, but you don't want to give them the solution that you're thinking of that might solve. It's like, so for instance, I might help them say, okay, well, your concern is running out of money, and obviously you don't want to go back to work, and that was a really hard story to hear about your mother, but what have you done so far to figure out a solution for that sort of thing? Have you explored this at all? No, we haven't. Yeah, this is our first attempt. Or yes, we have. We've talked to a few folks and just haven't been satisfied. What has you so dissatisfied with the other potential solutions? All these are great probing questions to help you uncover where the prospect's mind is at this point. Right? So once you've established the pain, once you've helped them live in that pain, you want to then help them realize that they're going to need, and this is really the key of the exploration portion of it, is to help them realize that they are ill-equipped with their own tools to find a satisfying solution. And so with the 3 E's of the pain process, you'll find yourself creating a massive urgency bubble. You've got them recognizing what their pain is, living in their pain, so creating this kind of scared or fearful anxiety of this situation they're either in right now or maybe in the future. People make buying decisions, remember, because of a pain that they currently have or a fear of future pain. And so by living in it, they start to really get concerned about it. And then through the last E of that pain discovery process, the 3 E's, the last E, you start to help them explore that they're going to need some help figuring this out. And if you start to use that, if you start to use those 3 E's in your pain discovery process, you'll find yourself creating the urgency you need for them to be ready to make a decision when you ask for it. So creating urgency is obviously one of the most important parts of the sales cycle, but if you like this video, feel free to check out any of our other videos that we've put up there. And if you like the channel in general, go ahead, give it a like or subscribe. Always helps us. And we're always interested to hear your thoughts. So if you have any thoughts about what we're talking about here with urgency, go ahead, throw it in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And as always, we'll see you next time here with Coffee for Closers.